All right, everybody. I hope you had a good day of trading today. We're going to talk about our two favorites, Chipotle Mexican Grill and Rocket Lab. And well, let's get into it. First off, we got um, Jay Powell talking today in front of some kind of committee, and I don't know if that's what caused the market to reverse on us a little bit or not. But I do know that we did get a little bit of a change, and the inflation report isn't really supposed to come out till tomorrow at 8 a.m., which means either it's going to be a good day tomorrow or a bad day tomorrow, based on the actual report that comes out. But at this point, Powell didn't change anything, still saying the same old thing. So, um, did the markets, did our stocks get affected based on this non-event? I want to call it a non-event. Maybe maybe they're feeling like it's some indecision, and along with the tariffs, it doesn't really matter what the Feds do with the interest rate. We're still going to pay more money for our goods and services. Because if he lowers, Trump's still going to raise his tariffs, and tariffs is just going to be, you know, a higher cost of stuff on that we have to buy unless we buy American goods that are made in America. I don't know, you know, most of our groceries are coming from what I understand. You know, like all the most of the salad stuff that I buy comes from that company Taylor, and they're here in California, but then they also get a lot of stuff from Canada and Mexico. A lot of their goods. So because they can't grow everything, they got 1,600 acres from what I understand. As I looked into the research into Chipotle, but that can't grow. We grow avocados in California. The avocados are grown in California, but most of the avocados come from Mexico. So that's going to be a supply chain issue in itself. So all these things are probably weighing heavier on Chipotle than I would think on Rocket Lab. So I guess the question is why is Rocket Lab taking a hit today? All right. So we had Jay Powell spoke, and I'm not going to get into all that with what he had to say today. So let's get to the chart. All right. So that's Rocket Lab. Let's pull up Chipotle first. Okay. So Chipotle. We already knew we had some issues in here in the first place, right? Because of our, because we were just trading around in these trade winds, and we hadn't made up our mind which direction we were going to head in. Well, finally they made up their mind today, and actually, really pushed it down quite a bit after yesterday's push up to $58. And then that sell-off back into the moving averages, I think, just kind of cinched it for everybody else to go short on that trade. And they went short, and they may have went short because of the inflation data or because of what Jay Powell had to say today. Who knows the real reason why they finally started selling off, but I told you on this day I was expecting it to open up and go lower, but I didn't get that. I got a little pump and dump instead. So we got a little pump up, and then we got the big sell off into today. So I hope you didn't jump on this and go the wrong direction with that, or if you did, I hope you got your money and then got out, because it's finally coming true. Which what I thought was going to happen is this trend here is following through. Alright, so we're getting this one here. Well, maybe. I don't know if we're going to get exactly this pullback. But we're definitely getting something if we break out of this channel or range. Alright. Which put us down around $47 if we continue this move here. Alright. And I believe we had something similar to that in the past on Chipotle, where it kind of pushed up and sold off and pushed higher. So now it looks like we're starting to make lower highs, and we'll see if this becomes a lower low. And then we know we're definitely moving into a down market. We got our moving averages coming up, and they're coming overhead now, and it looks like they're going to be rolling over to roll us down even lower. So we'll see what happens with that, but it's not looking very good right now. I'm not feeling very confident. If we break out of this channel and get down in here, then our last stop is going to be in this area here. If that doesn't hold up, then we're probably going to continue to run down lower. And I mean, you know, 50-to-1 stock split they just back here on June 2024. You know, that was about a $33,000 stock at that time when it happened. So, you know, it's still worth $3,000. It only made it just cheaper for us to buy at this point. But cheaper for us, but those people that got that 50-to-1, they're probably like, oh, time for me to cash in some of that. So maybe they're, you know, going, okay, let me take some profits off the table, and so that's gonna, you know, and hope, man, you know, I mean, think about it. If you had bought it and you pushed all the way up to $3,000, and then they gave you 50-to-1, when you sell half of that and keep the rest, maybe sell 3/4 of it. Who knows? But 50-to-1, you still got, you know, 25 shares of a $3,000 stock. So anyway, but I'm still a firm believer in Chipotle, and I know that this is going to be temporary. Just got to wait and see when's the right time to get back in, and most likely it's going to be later on into this year, maybe in the next year, because I don't really know if you saw the article that I mentioned before on the my other the video I put out before this one, and they're looking to open up another 300 and some odd stores. So that's a lot of stores that got to be opened up, got to be filled. A lot of positions got to be filled, and a lot of supplies have to be sourced. So that probably is going to cost quite a bit of I don't want to say profits, but a lot of revenue to be used. And so that could be another reason why we're getting our sell-off, because they're having to, you know, come up with that extra revenue in order to open those stores. You know, maybe they might get the money to open the stores in forms of loans from banks. I don't know how they plan on getting the money, but it's got to come from somewhere. So, and it could come from selling stock at a cheaper price. All right, that's all I got for Chipotle. Let's talk about Rocket Lab. But yeah, Chipotle, if we open up and continue lower and get below this, just close out below this range, then look for it to come down in here again. And if that doesn't hold, then I think the next stop is going to be quite lower. And we'll find out where that is as we as the months move on, as we get further into the year. Um, but our next support area isn't till back down here, right in here, at about, that'll put us down in here at about $35, $35.51. I saw in Yahoo Finance, if I can find it, that they were Chipotle. They have felt like it was going to be. They gave it a price target of a high of. Let's see. Analysis. 18. Where is it at? Yeah, I can't find it. But yeah, use Yahoo Finance and do your own due diligence and do some researching. But I had saw somewhere where they gave it a low of 42 and a high of like 60 or something like that. Can't remember where I saw that. Analysis price target. Oh, there it is. Low of 42 and a high of 75. Average 64.70. So that's where the prediction is. Analysis price target. That's what they're calling it. Recommendations. Strong buy HODL. So I'm not sure what this is. They're talking about if it gets to $21, you want to buy it. If it gets to $10, you want to hold it. If it gets under, I hope that's not what it's saying. If it gets below $10, you want to sell it. Shit. That's not funny. That's not funny. But anyway, that's what we got for Chipotle. Back to the lecture at hand. Then we got, okay, next up was Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab. So Rocket Lab took it in the shorts today. Opened up lower than when we closed, which I had kind of felt we would open up lower because I was looking at the pre-market and we were looking at it and it was opening up lower in the pre-market, but it continued to go down in the pre-market. So he opened up. What is this? So this was yesterday, and we pushed up to 31.08, and in the pre-market we started selling off. We sold off and got down in here. And then we opened up and started to push up, and then our moving averages were just hammering us down every time we would hit them. And we just continued to fall off all morning into the close. Then after the close, we got a little bit of a reprieve, but not much. So we'll see what happens into tomorrow's opening if we want to go back and head back up and retest that 31 area, or if we're going to continue to sell off. But I think even with tomorrow's data, we're probably going to continue to head higher because I don't think the data is going to be any different than what it's already been. Because I think that everybody's pretty much is getting what they want, even with these higher prices that we're having to deal with. The higher prices are here to stay. I don't care what the interest rates become. Higher prices are here to stay because they gave kids raises at the McDonald's and the Chipotle's, and the minimum wage and all that stuff went up. So you got to pay for that. Somebody's got to pay for that. And so, um, and the company that's selling you the product isn't going to pay for it. They're going to pass it on to us as the consumers. So when we go over there and buy that ice cream at 31 flavors, or go over to Chipotle and get the burrito, we got to pay for those kids to be there and make that burrito for us. So that's always going to be passed on to somebody else. And whether or not the price of that burrito goes higher is up to the company and their margins. Now, have that already been factored in years ago? Who knows? I'm pretty sure that they were already prepared for when Trump came back that it was going to be tariffs. 'Cause I could have told you that was going to happen. And he broadcasted long before he even got back in the office that there was going to be tariffs. And he was going after China as soon as he got back. That's his favorite. Well, I don't know. He did go after the Indian people when he got into office the first time. They didn't ever talk about that. He went after the Indian people at first. Now it's the Mexicans he's after. So I don't know. I guess he just. Let me leave that alone. Anyhow, Rocket Lab put in what I would, in the after hours, it's starting to look like it wants to push higher again, but I wouldn't be too certain of that because what we need to see was what happens when we open up tomorrow, and we need to open up. I want to say at least higher than where we are today at 28.58 right now in the after hours. But if you look at that chart, if you look at today's chart and look at today's bar, you got what they call what I would say is a bullish harami. It looks like to me. So if I move all this other stuff out of the way, you can see it better. Alright, so it's this bar here that closes inside of this big bar here. And harami means, I guess in Japanese, means pregnant woman. So this right here would look like a pregnant woman. This woman here's got this thing in its belly. Alright, and that right there is a bearish harami, not a bullish. Because if this bar was red and this was green, then it would be bullish. But since it's green and this is red, then it's bearish. Now, most of the time when it occurs, it looks more like this. All right, it's kind of a reversal pattern. All right, where you got these green bars, green bars, green bar, green bar, then a reversal pattern, and then it goes down. All right, that's more of a bearish harami than what we have here. Okay. Although it does look like a bearish harami, it didn't do the whole, pushing up, run into the resistance, and then sell off. All right, it just, opened up lower today, went lower, and closed within this bar. So tomorrow we wait and see what happens. This is kind of I like to be above this $29 when it opens. It'd be nice. If not, then 28.50 would be, if we can open up above 28.50, that'd be even better. But I don't want to take out this bar or this bar. So as long as we can stay within this bar here, or not take this bar out, which means we'll stay above our 27.20, or close above our 27.20, we're still in a safe space. Okay, and this support area continue to hold. All right, so maybe bearish harami, more bearish harami, and this one really, it's kind of hard to call a bearish harami, but it acted like one, so I want to say it really is, because even though it did open and close within it, but it had this pointer that almost went outside of it. This little tip here, and but that looks more like a bearish harami to me than this. But we'll have to see when it opens up. It may still be the same thing, just because it still is engulfing. But usually, like I said, you got bars behind it pushing up, and then it happens at a reversal area. And so this didn't really happen at a reversal area. It is an area that has had some issues with resistance, but we'll find out if it was enough to continue to force it down lower. But I know right now that the report coming out tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. we'll know by 9, at least by 9, which direction the market wants to head. Currently, we're still in a good area. We just showing a little bit of that we've been showing it here already, which is, it's a fight that's going on between the bulls and the bears. They're fighting in here. So we want the bulls to be victorious, but that's up to them. Okay, that's all I got. But then also remember, we still have this window down here, so don't forget about that. That's always going to be a factor too. And if we do get down in here, maybe we're going down and reconcile it. And if that's the case, then this bearish harami could be indicating that maybe we should be going short instead of long. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the next one. I got a couple more to lean on. I'm going to throw out there because I see some weakness still in Bitcoin, so I need to reassess that Bitcoin trade that I have going with BITI. Slow moving for the longest, but now it's starting to pick up momentum, so I'll reiterate on that one. But yeah, possible bearish harami, so be nimble. Alright, you guys, thanks for watching. Like I said, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and be ready for the next one. Okay? Alright, be careful out there. These markets are crazy.